13 April 1972, An Lac, South Vietnam. 40 NVA tanks rolled down No Quin Street toward the American command post. The aircraft that stopped them was 3 feet wide. 2 men. No armor-piercing cannon, no guided missiles. Unguided rockets carrying a new warhead that had never been fired at a tank. 2 AH-1 Cobras from Battery F, 79th Aerial Rocket Artillery, callsign Blue Max, dove on the column. They destroyed 5 tanks that day, trapping the rest. Over the following days, Cobras claimed 20. 5 aircraft and 8 crew lost. It was the first time in history a helicopter destroyed a tank. The machine that did it had been designed in 8 months on the manufacturer's dime, because the attack helicopter the Army actually wanted was still years from ready. By 1965, the Army's entire air assault doctrine rested on one assumption: that helicopter gunships could protect the troop transports flying into hot landing zones. They couldn't. The escorts were UH-1B and C models, transport Hueys with weapons bolted on. Pilots called them hogs. Loaded with rockets, miniguns, and ammunition, a hog topped out at roughly 90 miles per hour. The slick transports it was supposed to protect flew faster. The gunship arrived after the shooting started, if it arrived at all. UH-1C gunship pilot Jeff Staten knew the physics firsthand. Under combat load, the hogs could hardly pull the slack out of your shorts. A slick formation inbound to an LZ in the Central Highlands, door gunners watching green tracers arc up from the tree line, and the gunships laboring half a mile behind, rotors clawing for airspeed they didn't have. By the time the hogs cleared the ridge, the slicks had already punched through the kill zone without cover. Men were hit before the escorts could fire a single round. Army Aviation Museum curator Bob Mitchell framed the verdict the whole institution already knew. They were just getting shot out of the sky left and right, so they had to do something. The Army needed a purpose-built attack helicopter. The Air Force insisted Army helicopters should be nothing more than the equivalent of flying jeeps. One Bell engineer decided the Air Force didn't get a vote. In March 1965, Mike Folse started sketching a gunship on his own time. His insight was legal, not aeronautical. The Army couldn't buy a new aircraft without competitive bidding, but it could buy a modification of one already in inventory. So Folse built his machine around the Huey's engine, transmission, and rotor system. Bell invested $1 million of its own money. Folse's team, including engineer Charlie Sewell, had a flying prototype in 8 months. Test pilot Bill Quinlan took it up 7 September 1965, 12 minutes. The aircraft was 3 feet wide. Head-on, it presented a target 1/3 the width of the Huey it replaced. That narrow profile was the design's central survival insight. It hit 170 miles per hour in level flight and dove at 220, twice the speed of a loaded hog. A tandem cockpit seated the gunner forward, the pilot behind and above, 2 men running a chin turret with twin miniguns or 40mm grenade launchers, and stub wings carrying up to 76 rockets. Twice the speed, twice the ordnance, 3 times the loiter time. Same engine, fundamentally different machine. On 4 September 1967, a single AH-1G en route to Mu Qua spotted a sampan carrying 4 armed Viet Cong. Rockets and machine gun fire. The sampan disintegrated. The first kill in the history of purpose-built attack helicopters. The Cobra had proven it could kill sampans and bunkers, but the moment that would prove what this 3-foot-wide machine could really do, the moment it would stop a 40-tank armored column cold, that story is coming. First, the war the Cobra fought every day at treetop level. The signature mission was the Pink Team. 1 OH-6A Loach Scout flying low as bait, 1 Cobra orbiting above as the kill ship. The Loach drew fire. The Cobra rolled in. Randy Zahn flew these missions as a 19-year-old Cobra pilot with 1st Squadron, 9th Cavalry in 1970. The Loach drifted over the canopy at treetop height, exposed and deliberate. When muzzle flashes lit the jungle floor, the Cobra nosed over into a gun run, miniguns, rockets, or both. Former Cobra pilot Peter Khrushchevsky. I come over that hill and nose it up and just start blasting away. Guys on the ground would cheer. The sound defined the weapon. Ground-level accounts described the miniguns as a terrible roaring that filled the whole sky, rockets whoomph, whoomph, whoomphing into the tree line. From the cockpit, Cobra pilot Lou Illu saw it differently. "You see these red things coming at you? It's like you're wearing a Superman shirt and you're impervious to those rounds." He wasn't impervious. But at 170 miles per hour and 200 feet, the Cobra closed the distance between shooting and dying faster than anything the enemy had faced. On 18 June 1968, First Lieutenant Larry L. Taylor, D Troop, 1st Squadron, 4th Cavalry, 1st Infantry Division, was flying with Gunner Chief Warrant Officer 2 J.O. Ratliff when a 4-man long-range reconnaissance patrol was surrounded near Viet Cong. Taylor and his wingman held the enemy back for 45 minutes, firing every round and every rocket they carried. When the Huey extraction was canceled, the ground fire was too intense. Taylor did what no Cobra pilot had ever attempted. He landed his 2-seat attack helicopter in the middle of the firefight. 4 soldiers, David Hill, Robert Elsner, Gerald Patty, and William Cone, climbed onto the skids and rocket pods of a machine 3 feet wide. Taylor pulled collective and flew them out, 4 men clinging to an aircraft never designed to carry them. He was awarded the Medal of Honor in 2023. He died January 2024. His words: "No one shot at me twice. No one ever shot at a Cobra twice." Then came the moment this machine was built for. 13 April 1972, the Easter Offensive. NVA tanks, T-54s and PT-76s rolling down No Quinn Street in An Loc, a 40-vehicle armored column heading straight for Colonel William Miller's command post. Miller radioed for air support. His words: "Send me some Stukas." 2 Battery F, 79th Aerial Rocket Artillery Blue Max Cobras answered. Lead ship Serpent 6, Major Larry McKay in the front seat, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Barry McIntyre at the controls. Wingman Captain Bill Causey with First Lieutenant Steve Shields. Miller warned them off the anti-aircraft ring. McKay: Negative, sir. I've got heat." McIntyre flew a wing over, rolling into a 35-degree dive from 5,000 feet. McKay fired heat rockets, a new warhead built to kill armor, into the lead tank's engine compartment. They pulled out at 3,000 feet. The explosion blew the turret off the T-54. It was geometry. The steep dive gave the heat warhead the angle to punch through thin engine deck armor from above, the one place a tank is not built to take a hit. The Cobra's speed let them pull out above the worst of the ground fire envelope. They hit the lead, the middle, and the rear, trapping the column between burning hulks. Battery F destroyed 5 tanks that day. Over the following days, Cobras claimed 20 at a cost of 5 aircraft and 8 crew. Colonel Miller: "The Cobras were the instruments of our salvation." 2 days later, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Ronald L. Tucci, Battery F, flew solo into anti-aircraft fire so thick it swallowed his aircraft in smoke. He destroyed 4 tanks and damaged a 5th, earning the Distinguished Service Cross. Tucci was killed in a stateside training accident in 1974, the first helicopter tank kill in history. A sketch on Mike Folse's desk 8 years earlier had just rewritten the rules of armored warfare. Vietnamese fighters refused the American King Cobra name. In the Mekong Delta, they called the AH-1 Calep, a flatfish, because its body was flat, not long and round like a snake. The paired OH-6 Scout they named Kangao, a coconut shell dipper handle. They mocked its shape, even as they dreaded what followed it. The NVA adapted with triangulated DSH-KM heavy machine guns, 3 positions arranged to catch the Cobra from the side, defeating the narrow profile that kept it alive from the front. VC units built dummy bunkers with uniformed straw figures to lure the loach, then opened fire from concealment. The Cobra bled for it. Lam Son 719, Laos, 1971. the largest helicopter assault of the war, met the heaviest concentrated anti-aircraft fire. 26 AH-1Gs destroyed, 158 damaged. Major Terry Morris, D Company, 101st Aviation, described layered defenses stacked from the treetops to 10,000 feet. Some of the heaviest of any wartime operation ever, including the Ruhr in Germany in World War II. When the SA-7 shoulder-fired missile arrived in '72, 5 Cobras went down in under 30 minutes near An Loc. The AH-1 evolved. Sea Cobra, Super Cobra, the AH-1Z Viper, still in Marine service, projected through the 2040s. Its success proved the attack helicopter concept and led directly to the Apache. Every modern gunship traces back to Folsa's sketch and the pilots who proved it under fire. The Huey family, including the Cobra, logged 1,166,344 combat flight hours in Vietnam, more than any aircraft in the history of warfare. 3 feet wide, 2 men in tandem, the machine the Air Force said should be a flying jeep. Larry Taylor, the pilot who landed that machine under fire and carried 4 soldiers out on the skids, said it simply enough. No one ever shot at a Cobra twice.